Oh, guys, wait, what? Weather, hey, oh, weather clear. Also, by the way, this is like 2 3/4 by in Minecraft. Mm, so MTL the so so for M so for MTL the creator, um um mm, uh, and he's actually known me for a long time. And I he, he's known me for a long. He's actually known me for a little longer than I thought. And I've known him for and I've known him for a for a long. He's known me for a long time, and I've known him for a long time. But he, but 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 I didn't know that he's known me for a long time until yesterday. I'm not gonna create a question mark for. There you go. Just know that when doing what I've done here, just don't place your number blocks 2 blocks away. Don't leave a 1 block gap in between these number blocks. At least not when making quarters or the fractions of any kind. Or else you'll end up with something that looks like 1,251 and 3/4. Also, by the way, since MCO, I was actually the one who got MCO the creator to 400 subs. Okay? Uh, Apparently he says the eyes will not be decimal. And he's been trying to tell me that for like 5 years. For and he's and it seems like he's been trying to tell me that for like 5 weeks. And I've only and I've only answered and I've only answered and I'm on and I've only answered today. Mm. So I'll be making his character with these 4 blocks, not white concrete. And I'll just get rid of everything else. I'll just make him with just 5 or 6 blocks. There you go. With these blocks, I'll make MTO the creator. All right. So I just so if you don't know the MTO creator, his avatar character is it's 9/10. And or 0.9. And speaking of, I have to tell, I have to, if MTL the creator is watching right now, at any point in time, if MTL the creator is watching this point of the video at any point in time, I have to tell you this. You criticize me for why do you criticize me for? Well, I'm not sure why you. I mean, I'm apparent. I remember that apparently there were some likely spam comments according to the YouTube algorithm, and however, I don't think that they're spam comments. I think they're just you, MTO, the great. 13, 14, 15, 19, 20. There you go. I think they're just you. 4, 5, 6, and then so you've told me many times that the eyes are not decimal. And then one of them you said, "Are you deaf?" I really? Maybe the first two. Maybe it was supposed to be constructive criticism or something. Maybe it's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be it's supposed to be constructive criticism, but still. I mean, it's yeah. You say that that I'm doing the characters wrong, but look at your original. But look at your original number block span quarters video. You're the eyes were decimal, literally. So you're fine. So you're fine when you do. So it's fine when you do it, but you're complaining when I do it. I know that this is. However, I know that this is just construct. However, I'm about 90% sure that this is just constructive criticism. And I'd just like to mention, and if you're if you were just know that this guy is actually just doing constructive criticism, but I'd just like to tell you something. The fractional eyes. I'm pretty sure what he meant, but I'm pretty sure what he meant. What do you mean the maybe he was talking about the eyes being decimal. However, I need him to specify what he means by by the i's being decimal? Was he talking about the i's being like fraction i's, or 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 the numbers not being fractions? He'll need to tell he MTO the creator, if you're watching this, you'll need to tell me. You'll need to tell me which one it is, okay? I'll make a 5x7 rectangle for the eyes. I'm pretty sure he's talking about, I mean, he used decimal places when creating his own number blocks, so I'm guessing, so he, like 5 1/4 and on. I'm guessing that he's talking about the eyes. But let me tell you one thing. Those are only for quarters. Those are, the decimal I things are only for quarter or half, for with 1/2, quarter, half, quarter, 3/4, as well as the eighth, as well as the as well as all of the as well as the eighths, 16ths, 32nds, and or and 60 and 64 and 64ths and so and or 64ths and so on. All right. By the way, I don't know why why I'm having snow here when his eyes are basically black. I just. I really hope that this doesn't break up. Alright, that's really annoying. Also, if you're thinking that I'm turning off the rain just because I don't want these wooden planks to be burned, you are 100% absolutely you are 100% wrong. Just needed to bring that up. All right. Oh, and so the decimal I thing only applies to halves, quarters, eighths, 16ths, 32nds, and 64ths, and so on. All right. It does not apply to like thirds, fourths. It does not apply. It does not apply to number blocks like 1/3, 2/3. It does not apply to 1/3, 2/3, and 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and 4/5, and so, and it's etc. All right. You just need to make sure that you know that. All right. I don't want to. I don't want to start a war with our YouTube channels. But I mean, in another video I can create my alternative sprites for I can create my alternative sprites for 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, and 5/8, 3/4, and 7/8. All right. I think the eyes are a little bit too far apart, but hopefully it's fine. You can always, I mean, this guy can comment on my videos, and and, and and then I can see what is, and then I can see what he thinks about it, and and if he says it could be a little better in a certain way, then then I can do that. Also, normally, I like how I just replied to I like how I just decided that it would the how in my mind I would just how the average person would just reply. I like how I like how I thought at first when I saw your comments being like the eyes will saying that like the eyes shouldn't be decimal. I mean, I probably would have responded to those with okay. I probably would have responded to up accidentally broke the I probably I probably would, by the way, to I if Mr. Bond got comment if Mr. Bond got a comment like that was got a commenter saying that that you should make the eyes for I should make that I should make 1/4 and 3/4 where the eyes are decimal, like, and then there's one guy that keeps doing that, and or someone uses like some some fractions that are normally alternative. Yeah, and boop boop. Up. No, I should just stick to. Also, if Marbles and Crayon Race Me, if this other YouTuber called Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem, eh, um, you probably you'll if you know what number blocks are, you'll probably if you know about the number blocks community, you'll probably know this. You'll probably know him, and if you do, you'll probably you will probably and just saying, if he's currently watching this video, I'd really like if you revert back to the old. If Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem is watching this video at any point, I I don't really like the I I feel like I like the original I like the original sprites better. So before you make number blocks fractions band 4, which is basically number block 6, which is basically block 64ths, in a similar style to number block 16ths, where it's just 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. But instead of like 16 in one video, then it's just 5 in one video. Maybe when he gets to the 5th band, he should. Maybe he should just create five number blocks for each. Um, 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 or, or, or whatever he does with the, with the 6 teams, it's fine. Just revert back to the old quarters and eighth sprites before he. If Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem is watching, I feel like your new sprites for the quarters, it just feels wrong. Everyone knows the original 1 3/4 sprites, and they know it very well. And it looks, and it was good enough. I mean, this like the thing that you did with the thing that you did in the 16th span. It was alright with 16th span too. I mean, it's kind of like an alternative. It's kind of like an alternative 1 3/4. But if but is this guy really gonna go through all of the effort of making the quarters, of making new quarters sprites, just to be the cool guy who has unique sprites? It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what. Listen, it doesn't matter what you do with sprites. It doesn't matter what you do with the characters, if they at least if they actually make sense. By that I mean that even if you change them to even if you change them massively, then it's not in the thing that you made the original things, and that they actually make sense and they're not outdated like youth and they're not out and they're not using something either old or and they're not using something that's either old or has been used multiple times in the past, um, such as using heart-shaped glasses for 1 3/4. Not, however, not to name names, but a certain 6 3/4 character actually kind of used this, and I'm fine with that. But Marbles and Creative Race Mayhem, you just ripping that off. Nah, no. Nah, it's just, he just uses everything he can to get more views and more subscribers. That's not how you do. That's not how you make number blocks. He just tries to make his number blocks better, but it ends up, but you know, I prefer the original number blocks better than your stupid version of than your stupid version of 1 3/4, Mr. Marble, Mr. Two, Mr. Mr. 2 1/4 character, Mr. 2 1/4 character. If he's watching this video right now, or at any point in time, then just revert back to the old quarter and eighth sprites. Actually, how about if before, unless he whatever. Actually, I changed my mind about that. So if MTO the creator is watching this, please tell this Marbles and Creative Race Mayhem guy to just not to just revert back to the old to just revert back to the original quarter and eighth sprites. I mean, the original quarter and eighth sprites. What I'm saying like that is that. By the way, why there was nothing wrong with the original 1 3/8. Even if you don't like your own number blocks, that doesn't mean that no one else likes them. You know that he. By the way, I'm pretty sure he has comments, unlike Onely. So you can actually give him some, which means that you're able to give him more constructive criticism than. Which means you're able to give him, which means I could technically give him a little bit more constructive criticism than none. I don't know what was wrong with his original. What was wrong with his original quarter? Quarter? What was wrong with his original quarters? The 1 3/8 is fine. I mean, it's. But don't you? But why? I mean, the 1 3/8 and 1 5/8 change. It's still fine. 1 7/8 should just be kept the way she is. So minus the step squad, minus the step squad glasses, you know. Why do you have to change everything? Just revert to your original sprites, except for the 2 1/4 sprite, okay? Just revert back on everything to your very first sprite for to your remastered sprites to your remastered sprites for everything in between 0 and 10 for your quarters. As well as the music, and then everything above 10 revert to your original sprites for every single thing above 10. If anyone who knows this Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem guy is watching this video, you should probably tell him to revert back to the original quarter to the original quarter sprites, as well as the original 1 3/8 sound, as well as the original 1 3/8 sprite sound and movement. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like the original one a little bit better, you know. When seeing the drastic changes he made to his sprites yesterday, I'm not gonna have a 1 3/4 that literally just using a regular 3/4 sprites will work just fine. Your original one, like, just use your original. Just use the one that you used already in the Remia and just use the 3/4. This Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem guy should just use the original. Should just use the one that he used in his remastered version of number blocks quarters 1, and then use the he should just use the remastered with the sound, animation, and the original sprites. He should just use the remastered sound. He should just use the remastered. He should just use the remastered everything except for 3 3/4. Just wait. He should just use the original He should just use the original sprites for everything except for 3 3/4, which should be remastered. But aside from that, but aside from 3 3/4, just make sure that but aside from 3 3/4, 2 1/4, and 2 aside from 3 3/4 and 2 1/4, which it should be technically remastered as remastered. I mean, 2 1/4 is just the same thing all across the board. until you, of course, you have to change it. If you change that your 2 1/4 sprites, then all the creative race mayhem. If you just change your 2 1/4, if you change your if 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 the 2 1/4 sprite has to change, then your character has to change back to your original. All right. You should just revert back to the original. Just revert back to the original sprites for every single number block band, and except for the number block, and except for everyone in between 0 and 10, which should have remastered music and animation. Use the original animation and music. Otherwise, I'll unsubscribe from Marbles and Grand Race Mayhem. Which was the one that, which was the guy, the person who I was talking to this whole time. All right. I was trying to tell him a message. Anyway. Credits to MTO the creator for helping this video. Anyway, credits to MTO the creator. He's now currently at 400 subscribers. Also, Marbles. What is up with Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem? Why does he have like a? That's the longest name for a number block. That's the longest name for someone in the number block community I've ever seen. You know about this guy called Harry the Papyrus creator? And I'm talking about male characters. I mean, the name Jacob Plays is literally 11 characters, and then Harry the Papyrus creator. There's 22 characters. Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem. His name is fine, but all of his core. But every single sprite has to be changed back to either original or remastered form. All right. And the music, just change it to the original for remastered versions. Just keep it right. Let's keep it regular. For remastered versions, also use the remastered and for remastered sprites. Just either use the original animation and original music, or remastered animation and remastered music. Alright. I think that's enough for now. Thanks to MTO the creator. MTO the creator. Congratulations, you've officially hit 400 subscribers. And the criticism that you put in the comments was just constructive criticism. My next Minecraft video will be me making 1 3/8, 1 5/8, and 1 7 and 1 7/8. I can't even say a full sentence. Just a note to Marbles and Crayon Race Mayhem. Except for the 7/8 sprite, just change it to the original 7/8 sprite. But everything else, everyone else should just be. But all of the things that I use in my sprite, in my thing, Marvel and Korean Race Mayhem should just use those, and the 1 and 3/8, 1 and 5/8, and 1 and 7/8. That use Marvel's and Korean Race Mayhem should probably use those as well. Because seriously, all of these sprites, other than that, however, maybe you should just, and also the sprites that I used, minus the, however, not the 1 1/4 sprites, because, I mean, maybe you do use that, but minus the, but without the hat and the right, and one of us, and it's, yeah, and one eye is smaller than the other one. And then his, and also use your remastered 2 1/4 sprites. Just use all, just use all of your original or remastered sprites for. Just use all, either your first sprite or your second sprite for every single character. All right, you've made Number Blocks Quarters remastered. Number Blocks Quarters 2, 3, and 4 remastered. Just use all. You just use either those remastered sprites for either use those the sprites from those videos, or the original. Just use the remastered 2 1/4, and don't use my Minecraft 1 1/4. All right. Now, congratulations to MTO the creator for getting to 400 subscribers, and Marbles and Reyes Korean Race Mayhem. Your sprites, music, and animation all together should just be either the for what from 0 to 10 should just be either just be original, or all of your sprites should just everything should just be your music is fine, and the animation is fine. Just use your original sprites. All right. Just use your original sprites. Just don't do that with 2 1/4 or 3 3/4. All right. That's just a message for Marbles and Korean Race Mayhem. They had to tell them about. Right after the message that was after for MTO the creator. All right. By the way, if Marbles and Korean Race Mayhem is watching this video at any point in time, this is constructive criticism. Just because you're you should just use your original or remaster. You should just use your remastered sprites for. You should just use your original. You should just use your original sprites for every single character except for 2 1/4, 3. You should just use your remastered sprite. You should just use your remastered sprites for every single character in between 0 and 10, and then use the original sprites for every character in between after 10. All right. Just because you don't like your own characters, your own designs for the characters, doesn't mean that no one else does. All right. For Marvel and Korean Race Mayhem. May want to consider liking and subscribing. Bye.